Hi everyone, this is Shirley from Shirley's World. All you YouTubers out there. Wait till a few people get in. Yeah, I hope the notification went out because there were a couple yesterday that didn't get notified, along with my sister. She didn't get notified either when I went live. So I heard from other YouTubers that happens. So I don't know if you don't get notified. I'm sort of talking to myself here. If you don't get notified, maybe try to push the subscribe button, again, subscribe again, and push the little bell button again. Somebody said that will help, but sometimes I think it just doesn't go out. So I don't know. It's super windy here today. 40-mile-an-hour gusts. So I'm going to do a what's sold video. It's not going to be very long because it's very limited on what I'm selling right now, along with everybody else that's resellers. They're pretty much a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people. So I'm not really even worrying about it anymore. Yeah. My dog, of course, has been hysterical all day, although I did give him his melatonin early this morning. He's almost due for another one. I could give him another one now. I think he's upstairs sleeping though, so that's good. But this morning the wind started really bad and he could barely stay at his food bowl and eat. That's how upset he was. So it's funny that when he's upset and the wind is blowing really hard, he still wants to go outside. I don't know if it helps him just to run around, but the second or third time he went out, I called him, and I had to actually go outside and hunt for him. But while I was outside hunting for him, he was in the front. I took some pictures because spring is sprung here. No matter what, spring is here. It's coming. I have a daffodil that popped open overnight. So all my daffodils have big buds on them, but I have one open. I took some pictures of some spring things happening out there. And I think I put it on both Facebook and Instagram, some pictures. So anyway, when I was out there, I heard him in the bushes by the kitchen porch. And I looked under the bushes, and here he's trying to dig his way under the porch. There must be something living under the porch. Now, I hope it's not a skunk. This is the time that animals are having their babies, and they find a place to have them and raise their little babies. So I think I would have smelled a skunk by this time. Even if they don't spray, you can sort of smell them if they're around because they're real musky smelling. But it's probably a possum because there have been possums under my porch in the past. And possums, and I think also skunks, they don't stay in one place very long. So if a possum had little babies, they would cling onto her or be in their pouch. They'd be in the pouch. Hi, Bumblebee. Little possums, when they're born, they're just no bigger than the tip of your little finger. They're tiny. And they're born, and then they crawl into the pouch of the possum. And they live in there for I forget how long. I had a whole video at one time about possum, or a whole blog. I'm not sure. It might have been a blog, but I have it written down someplace. But when I really educated myself on possums, and they are a good thing if you don't have horses. They can carry bad things. That's very bad for horses, but there's no horses on my property here. So anyway, other than that, they're good. They're good animals to have on your property. They eat a million ticks, and they look mean when you see them growling. I mean, if you come in contact with them or threaten them, they look horrible. I mean, they look so mean. They bare their teeth. They make this, and they drool, and they make this horrible sound, hissing sound, but it's all mostly bluff. And if something goes after him, because my dog grabbed 2 different times, 2 different possums. He grabbed the possum, and they immediately, they say play possum, but actually they go into this comatose state. It's almost like it just happens naturally. They don't make it happen. It just happens. When they become really afraid, they just go into this sort of a coma type thing. And once they do this, they put out a slightly different scent. And most of the time, the animal that has grabbed them drops them, because a lot of animals that are prey animals, they are interested in animals that are alive or that they kill, not dead animals. So once that happened, my dog dropped the possum immediately and just left it. So I got that time, that was like a year ago or so, I think it was the last one. It was out by the front garden. And I got the dog in, and then I could see it laying on the bricks out there. So I just watched it for a while, and took about a half hour. And all of a sudden, I looked out there, it was gone. And it had just gotten up and woken up and ran off. So, yeah, possums will also move. Once they have their babies, they may stay there a short time, but they'll move. They don't stay in the same habitat. Nature stories with Shirley. Yeah, I love my animals, domestic and wild. Yeah, so I'm really happy if I see a possum around. I just have to make sure the dog doesn't bother him. Now, raccoons, I mean, I like raccoons too, but raccoons are detrimental to my chickens. I would never harm a raccoon, but I don't really want them in my, over by the chicken coop at all. That's why everything's locked up tight. A little before dusk. And there has been one that's gotten in my garage lately. I can tell because they make a mess in the garage. You know, they must be rooting around for things, and they dumped over a bunch of stuff, and it's a raccoon because that's what they do. But it was during the night, and nothing can get in the coop. So anyway, I haven't seen it, but I just know from the mess he made that it was a raccoon. We have had horrible wind today. It's been 40-mile-an-hour gusts. And of course, really upset the dog. He's had his melatonin early. I think it helped a little bit, but not tremendously. I think right now, though, he's upstairs sleeping. So he's either gotten used to the wind or the melatonin is taking effect and he's having a nap. But Yeah, I have a very short little what sold video today. I sold 10 items altogether all week, 7 eBay items, and 3 Poshmark items. So I don't know if Bumblebee, did you get notified? Did you get a notification when I went live? Because yesterday, I think it was Posh Planet said she didn't get one, and my sister didn't get one yesterday either. So, like I said, sometimes people just don't get them for some reason. But if you resubscribe and re-hit the little bell button, somebody said that sometimes helps, so I don't know. So I think I will go right to the sharing the screen and show you what I sold in this past week. So let's try this. Okay, I might have even mentioned this last week because I think it sold on last Sunday. But this is really supposed to be from last Sunday till yesterday, Saturday. So this was the first thing. This was a Poshmark sale, and it was that Affliction. This was a ladies' Affliction shirt in a size large. It was very pretty. It was purple and black, and I sold it for $28. It had a deep V-neck on it. And from $28, I got $22.40. So I thought that was good for sort of like a t-shirt, even though Affliction used to sell for a lot, but it's not selling for as much as it used to. So let's go. The second thing was this Sack Roots women's shoulder bag. Now, this was meant to be a crossbody bag, but and this is like brand new. I don't think it was ever used. It didn't have any tags on it, but it didn't look like it had ever been used. It was super clean. But the strap, had been twisted when it was made, and it was then stitched to the other side. So there was no way to untwist the strap. So what I did was I unstitched it, and I doubled the strap and tied it there on the right. You can see a knot there, and made it into a shoulder bag. So I explained that when I put it on. This was an eBay sale. When I put it on, I explained what I had done, and somebody contacted me about it and wanted me to explain more about what I did, and I did. I sent her a long explanation, and what she was interested in, that I hadn't cut anything. I hadn't cut the strap at all, which I didn't, because she had somebody that had an industrial sewing machine, and she could restitch it back into a crossbody bag. So she bought it. I had sent an offer to Watchers for $18.77, and that's what she bought it for, and she paid $6 shipping. And here's another Poshmark sale, a pair of suspenders, CAS. They're made in West Germany. They're the elastic suspenders, adjustable, and they have the leather little button things down here to button onto the pants. And these are the ones that sell the best if you buy suspenders. This hookup, those leather button on. And a lot of these are made in West Germany, as this one was. And they sold for $16 on Poshmark. And out of that, I got $12.80. Here's an eBay sale. This was a Levi's men's Western shirt with pearl snap front closure. And it was in this plaid. It was like a navy blue with red and white plaid. And this sold for a best offer of $19. And they paid shipping of $4.50. And that went out on the 24th, which was when that was Tuesday. I had like one sale each day and then a couple days without any. Oop, wrong thing. Okay, this next is Scattergories, the one game I sold. And this sold for my asking price of $8.95. I had somebody offer me real low on that. And while I was trying to go back and forth with him, somebody else bought it at the regular price. So I love when that happens. So somebody bought it for the $8.95 and they paid $8.25 for shipping on it. And so it went to McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. I think the suspenders went to California. I didn't tell you where the other things went, but there's a pair of Levi skinny jeans in style 524. These were women's dark wash jeans in a 25 by 31 they were. And those went to somebody in Seattle, Washington. And they sold for the sale price of $22.94. And they paid shipping. Those fit in a padded flat rate envelope. So they go flat rate for $7.55. I think I pay $7.25 when I paid $7.52 on this. This is a shirt that I'm sort of sorry I took the best offer on this one, because I did take a low best offer of $12, but had been marked down to $16.94, and then somebody offered me $12 on it, and which I finally took. It had pearl snap closures on it, and was just a striped gray striped shirt by Guess. There's a men's shirt. So that went to Pleasant Grove, Utah, where the Cowboys are. Whoop. Okay, this one is an Orvis Trout Bum. That's one of their lines. A little baseball tee, men's extra large. And that went as a best offer $15. But really, it's just a t-shirt. It's a baseball tee, but it's by Orvis, but I did take the best offer of $15. They paid shipping of $4.50 on that, and it went to Thibodaux, Louisiana. I guess that's how you pronounce that. It's a strange spelling. The last four letters of that town ends in D-A-U-X. That's like French. Thibodaux, whatever. Louisiana. And those sold on the 28th, which was last Saturday. Okay, here is a Poshmark sale. And here's this one of the beautiful plates that I put on. Of course, this was a problem shipping. I mean, I just boxed it up just a couple hours ago. But it takes a whole bunch of bubble wrap and a whole bunch of paper and everything to get it into the box and to really protect it, because it's going all the way to Yuba. Maybe you pronounce that Urba. Yuba, Yuba, California. And I took a best offer of $15 on that. And I got $12 for that plate. Now I have three others. And this is a quadrifoglio dinner plate, and they're made in Italy, and they're sort of a heavy ceramic dish. It's a beautiful pattern of grapes and grape leaves. I have 3 more. One has a tiny chip in it, but say, a couple more anyway, without that are perfect. So $15, I'm happy with that, since I probably never paid, I would have not paid more than $2 for the plates each, maybe even $1. I'm not sure. That's back when I was buying a lot of dishes for tablescaping. So I had 4 of these. So I was happy with that sale. And this little tech gear top I just sold yesterday. And it's turquoise by Tech Gear in a size medium. And that sold for, I had a 20% off sale this weekend. And that's when she bought it yesterday at $13.59. And she paid $4 shipping, and it went to Bonita Springs, Florida. So that is it for the week. I'll try to get back here. So that's the piddly a little bit, but I don't know. Everybody seems to be struggling. I'm really not even worried about it anymore. Yes, you got it. Okay. Darlene, you're here. Yeah. Oh, you got the notification and couldn't find you. Oh, dear. Yeah. No, I didn't make the plate multiple quantity. I made it just one. I've never done that before. I was afraid I'd get it all screwed up. So I'll just put it on again. It's not like I have a huge amount, a huge quantity. But I had it on eBay too. So I took it off of eBay when I sold it. The game cost me to ship. Let me see. It's categories. The game cost me, went priority, and it cost me $7.45 to ship, and they paid $8.25. So I didn't lose anything on the shipping on that. So I think it fit in a regional A box. It went like almost like a flat rate type, not flat rate, but I think it went regional A, and it went to where Pennsylvania, right close to me, next state over. So yeah, I used a regional A box to ship that. Just depends on where it's going and what box you use. But yeah, that's why I hate the games. Most of them are heavy. You really don't. A lot of games that are online for sale have free shipping. And if you have free shipping, every time I put free shipping on something like that, where you don't know, it's a little bit heavy and you don't know where it's going, then I always lose money. So I pretty much put calculated shipping on the games. And I can't put them on for as much as the people that have free shipping, of course, but it should all even out. But I didn't lose any money on that one. So, yeah. Besides the wind today, I did spend some time outside with my camera, and I took pictures, like I said, of things popping up, and makes you feel good. The spring is here no matter what. Spring's going to come. I said before I had one daffodil popped open last night, must have. We had torrents of rain last night, well, yesterday. And a lot of wind today. Super heavy winds. Thank goodness. fingers crossed I did not lose power. And that's always a thing. I have had an off and on mild headache, here a sinus headache, right here and behind my eyes, off and on the last couple days. And it's since it's gotten warmer. So I don't know, it could be allergies, I suppose. It's just irritating. What was I going to say here? One thing I want to do this evening, I have to send in my taxes, get them ready to mail out tomorrow. They're all done. He mailed them back to me. I just have to sign them and, you know, do that thing. Luckily, I don't have to pay anything. Well, maybe to the state. I'm not even sure. I don't even think I have to pay with the taxes, but the estimated taxes are due also at the same time. So I have to pay estimated taxes anyway. Let's see. I've been doing today, no TV, except I have been watching Andy Griffith. I love those old black and white, you know, that series about Mayberry. I love those. I watch them over and over again and over again. And I have them recorded, that they always record, so I always have them to watch. So that's what I had on today in the background. So I'm sure I've seen every one of them. So I've been doing more things around the house, straightening up and getting things in order, doing dishes, and my salt tank downstairs needed to have salt put in it. I had 1 bag of salt left before the next delivery. It's 50 pounds. I cannot lift that up into the salt container. So I had to take a scooper and scoop. It took about at least 20 scoops to get it light enough that I could lift up the rest of it and put it in. I usually have whoever comes to the house, I wrangle them into going down and putting it in. But since I have no one coming to my house, no one's coming to my house, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm sheltering in place. So I did get the salt in. I can always tell, not so much about how the water feels, but the first thing that I see was in the dishwasher. My dishes feel, you can feel there's a little bit of lime on the dishes. Leaves a little bit of lime, and they're not as squeaky clean as they usually feel. They're sort of a dull feel, and I know that that's the sign that my tank is real low. It was really low on salt, so I put the bag in. I don't know when they're going to deliver the rest of it, but I don't really want him coming in the house either. However, there's no way. He can't leave it on the porch. He delivers like 4 or 5 50-pound bags. He carries it down to the cellar, and he fills my tank. So I may have to let him in the house because the only way, I could never get it down there any other way. So, you know, you never think of these things before something like this happens. Usually my dog food guy, I have Dexter's dog food delivered. It's by Nature Select, his dog food, and they home deliver, which is really nice because he brings it in and takes it down where I store it. But that I can have him leave on the porch, and I can go out and scoop out of that bag till it's down enough that I can get it in the house at least. I have been watching YouTube videos about shopping at Aldi because I want my daughter to shop at Aldi. She's telling me about how much it's costing her to go to shop at the grocery store. It seems she seems to think it's costing her more to shop at the grocery store than it does buying fast food at the drive-in windows. But what it is, she's buying, of course, at the grocery store. She does not have a pantry with anything in it. She never cooked, so, she doesn't know anything about stocking a pantry. And I'm really surprised because the girl that she bought the house with, Deanna, is Italian. I mean, she's the one that cooks if there's any cooking going on in that house. Well, right now, Deanna is living with her boyfriend. And so Michelle is, is by herself there and not having anything to eat unless she cooks. So number one, she doesn't know how to cook. Number two, she has nothing in her pantry. So the times that she went to the grocery store, and she has gone out, she did get one delivery from the curbside from Giant Eagle. She went and got what she could. But, when I tell her to make this or that, she doesn't have things. I don't think she even has a bag of flour, to tell you the truth. So I've been going on YouTube and watching YouTube videos about people that are shopping at Aldi to stock their pantries. And I'm going to talk her into watching those and just get an idea of what she can order from Aldi. Because I've had good luck ordering from Aldi, and she can have that delivered right to her porch. So I don't want her going out to the grocery store. I don't want her going to Target, and she gets, she gets a lot more hungry than I do. Once you reach an old age, you don't eat as much anymore, and you don't get as hungry. I mean, I get hungry, but just a couple mouthfuls of stuff will satisfy me. But she eats a lot more, of course, than I do because she's more active. Number one, she's always at the barn with her horse, and she needs more food. So anyway, we're going to have a little talk about maybe she should spend this time that she's home Your husband's always happy when the tulips pop up for the squirrels to eat. Yeah, I hope you get to see them before they eat them. Yeah, I'm going to try to talk her into this. Would be a good time because she can't stand that she can't go anywhere. She's used to going a lot of places. She had a photography business besides her regular business as a bartender, which she lost immediately during this when all the bars and restaurants closed. And so she has no place to go except the barn. And she's driving herself nuts at home. So I think she should use this time to learn how to cook. She's not going to like this idea, but I'm going to try to talk her into this. We could do a FaceTime video or a Skype type video. And I think there's another one called Zoom that's sort of like FaceTime. I haven't looked into it yet, but I sort of have heard about it. You've not lost your appetite? Yeah, but you're probably not as old as me. I lost my appetite, I don't know, maybe in my early 70s, maybe late 60s. It just went down and down that I didn't. It's when you start not to be able to eat as much, when you sit down to dinner. It's when somebody gives you a huge plate full of food and it just turns you off altogether. That's when you know you're old. When I was in nurses training, another nursing story, I can remember them telling us this about the geriatric patients. Don't put a huge amount of food in front of them because it will turn them off completely. And they won't want to eat at all. And I have reached that point where I can make food that will last for several days, but on my plate, I just put little amounts. And if I want more, I'd put another little amount. But I don't fill up my plate because, I don't know what it is. What happened? But it is true. You haven't reached that point yet. Oh, I don't know. Last night, I went to watch Ozark. I told you I was going to start watching Ozark again because I had watched it, the first 2 series, and I liked it. I can remember, and it hadn't come back on for like over a year. And I was glad when I heard it came back on Netflix, and I started to watch it last night, I think. And I just turned it off. It's, for me right now, maybe it's the time, maybe it's all this stuff going on. I don't know. It's very violent. Obviously, it didn't bother me before when I watched it because I liked it. It was interesting and I was engrossed in that series. Now I don't even want to watch it. It's way too violent. I want to watch nice things. Mysteries, yeah, they're good, but not violent stuff. I don't want to watch that right now. Maybe that'll change after this all goes back. Are we ever going to go back to normal? I just feel sometimes that nothing is ever going to be the same again. Am I ever going to be not afraid to go out? Or am I in my house for the duration of my life? That's what I feel like. And that's pretty depressing in itself. Yeah. I think that's all I had scratched down here. Yeah, I definitely am searching for videos to send my daughter. That's what I was doing today. That's what I'm going to go back to do. I'm going to send her some YouTube videos to watch, if she'll watch them. Talk to her about learning to cook, and also do send in my taxes, put them in the envelope and get them in the bin to mail. So that's about it today. That's all I had. That's all I have. I guess I can start paying all my bills for next month. I stack them up here by the computer. I pay them all online through my bank. And I can do that in the next couple days. They're due different times during the month. But I feel better when everything gets paid. So my daughter is anxiously waiting for her $1,200 check from the government. I will get the same, so I will just put that away for her. Nick and Andrea, hi. Nick, I saw you crawling around in your loft. Better to do it now than in the summer. That would be horrible. I'm at home too. Yes. I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, and nobody's coming in my house. So I'm completely isolated like you. Yeah, I watched your video about everybody sort of going nuts. My daughter is too, but at least she goes to the barn. She goes to her barn and sees her horse. But I think the last time I was at the barn was last Thursday or Wednesday, whenever I went. But I don't think I'm going back again. I think I'm going to just stay in. No, not a good place for 6-foot man. I know. I can imagine. I felt for you because I can imagine what that felt like on your back. You know, it had to be painful. I was afraid you were going to fall down the hole, fall down the steps. Yeah. The only place I have for extra stuff is in my cellar, and even though my boiler is down there and my cellar stays pretty, it doesn't get damp down there because that's where the boiler is, and it's warm down there actually. In the winter, sometimes it's warmer in my cellar than it is up here. I suppose I could store stuff down there, but I'm just afraid to because I have had leather things get moldy down there. You know, leather harnesses and stuff that I stored from my horses. And when I pulled them out, they had mold on them, so I had to scrub them off and redo all of them. So maybe I just can't feel the dampness, and maybe it's still damp. But yeah. Yeah, Nick, tell Andrea I said hi. Yeah, is spring coming there too, Nick? Has spring sprung over in the UK? You'll be going back up there. I will. You stay safe too. Bye. Nasacort has been helpful for you for sinus. Yeah, do you get headaches from your sinus? Usually, yeah, the headaches, I don't get headaches hardly ever. But when I do get them, they are sinus right here. I used to get terrible migraines, but I don't get them anymore. Thank God, but my daughter does. She inherited my migraines. I'll get the little squiggly. I'll get the aura, you know, that used to tell me I was going to get the headache. So as soon as I see that little squiggly, and then I lose like my sight, like my peripheral sight. And I immediately take 3 regular aspirin, and lay down and bury my head so that no light gets in at all for just 15 minutes. That's all it takes. And I don't get the headache. So my daughter gets horrible headaches connected with her time of month, if you know what I mean. So unfortunately, yeah, they're horrible. I remember when I got them, and they were just awful. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get headaches much at all. But yeah, so that's about it for me. And my sister must not, well, she could be busy. I don't know if she usually will come on though if she gets a notification. So maybe she didn't either. So I'm going to close for now and go do those things I said I was going to do. And my daughter will be calling me anyway pretty soon. She goes to the barn earlier before people come there. And then she calls me when she gets home or on her way home from the barn. So she says it's the only place where she can feel normal is when she goes to be with her horse, which is probably true. Are you interested in sitting down together to go over listing? Sure. I think I sent you my phone number, didn't I? If not, let me know and I'll send it. Did you mean by phone or online, or I don't know how you meant there. Yeah, any company is welcome. Oh, virtual company. Yeah, that's what you have to have now, I guess. I don't know. Please tell me this is all going to be over someday. That we can go back to regular shopping and crowds and people and stuff. But I've read an interesting article. It was phone could be a fun distraction. Yeah. What was I just going to say? I lost it already. That quick. Just flies out of my mind. I have no idea what I just said, which makes me kind of worry, you know. But I'll think of it as soon as I get off of here. Oh, well. I'm going to close, and I think going back to normal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say about it, though. The article I read from CNN. It was probably on TV, but I'm not watching TV, so it was a written article, and it was saying there's 3 types of people. There's the people, which are usually the young people. They had names for these 3 groups, but I don't remember, of course, the names. But the first group were the young people, mostly young people, that just don't really feel that this is really going to affect them, because I think in the beginning they said it doesn't really affect younger people. That's before they knew better. And I think that's stuck in their mind. And so that they're just acting like normal. And those are the crowds that are on the beach in Florida. Those are, I've seen not movies, but videos of them just a few days ago, videos of someplace where they're on the street walking around like, nothing is different. Or people, in the crowded grocery aisles, and it's in March. I mean, it's in the end of March here. It's not like before we knew better. Hi, Sue. You just got your notification? Oh, my. Yeah. I wonder why it does that. So then there's the second group of people. We're like what we're doing. We're sheltering in place. We're doing what we're told to do. We're sheltering in place. We're trying to stop this. We understand how this gets passed from person to person. I mean, there's been enough scientists on that we should know, if you go back and read your history, you should know this. There's this group of us. I hope it's the biggest group. And then there's the group that's this beyond being careful. Those are the ones that cleared the shelves of toilet paper. Those are the ones that have built bunkers, before, and now they're living in their bunkers. And they are, they have, completely shut out everything, So I don't know, maybe that's not, they're the ones that went to the grocery stores immediately, but they're the ones that have stock. They have their stock up in their bunkers anyway, you know. They shouldn't have had to clear the shelves. Now that group isn't good either, because they're taking away from the rest of us, you know, that need stuff, that aren't really buying hordes of things. We're just trying to buy what we need for maybe a week or two, but we can't even do that. Spring break is over now. Yeah, hopefully they'll go home and spread it around, because they've been with a whole bunch of people down there. You're sure if I had a bunker, I'd be in it? No, only in a tornado, if I had one. No, if I couldn't look out the windows and that, I would be sort of, I think, claustrophobic. Yeah, those are underground bunkers. Yeah, I'm just doing I've read that the scientists in the health department is telling you to do. But it has, I don't know, they were saying in the beginning that they were quarantined, anybody that got, they were in touch with anybody that came down with it, they had to be in quarantine for 14 days. Does that mean if you go 14 days without being in touch with anybody and staying in your house, being in touch with anybody, does that mean that you're out of the woods, you won't get it? Now, I've been to the barn. I haven't reached 14 days from when I was at the barn, because I was 6 feet, maybe even 4 feet away from Judy. That's why I don't think I'm going to go out there again. If I deliver eggs to her, it'll be to her house, and she will just get them out of my trunk. I hate not to see my horses, but I shouldn't have probably gotten out of the car. Then you're not infected. Is that really what that means? I can feel, if it goes 14 days and I don't have any symptoms of it, does that mean I'm not infected? Because then I heard that people can be carriers and have it but not know it. So what does that mean? Does it still will they still get the symptoms before 14 days? I'm kind of confused on that. I can certainly go 14 days without having any contact with anyone. So if that's what it is, my mom's making cookies, forgetting the sugar and needing more groceries. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what I'll do if I run out of sugar. It'll probably be a good thing for me. I have honey. I have maple syrup. Oh, not going out. I don't mean 14 days and then feel safe to go out. No, I just mean if I don't have symptoms, if somebody doesn't have symptoms after they've been in place, for 14 days, can you just feel better and not worry about having it? That's what I mean. I don't think it means you can go out, because, right, then you can just catch it then. Yeah. Just like doing a test and get something. You get it the next day. You get the test, and then you could get it the next day, right? Yeah, that's why they're not testing every single person. Yeah, it makes no sense because I tried to get that across to my daughter because she doesn't understand. She at first didn't understand why they just didn't test every person. But I think people may have a little cough, etc., not think anything of it. Yeah. Except if you have allergies or whatever, or if you always have a little cough or whatever, how would you know the difference? You'd have to really start to feel horrible to know that that's something bad. I haven't taken my temperature for the last couple of days. Did I take it yesterday? Forget. One day's just running into the next. Oh. Yeah, I have been sheltered, but I did go to the barn that once. Yeah, I didn't take my temperature. Yeah, I'm not going to take my temperature. I mean, I'm always feeling cool, except when I get a hot flash. I had a scarf around my neck, looked really pretty before, and right before I went on, I got a horrible hot flash and had to take it off. Stress also makes your hot flashes worse. I can go months without having a hot flash, and then all of a sudden I'll have a week that I have, a couple a day. Yeah. My sister got away without ever having hot flashes. I don't know how that ever happened. I got horrible hot flashes. Horrible. They're just less, I get them less often now, but I still get them every once in a while. It doesn't seem fair. I think you'd feel different than your usual allergies. Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, I haven't felt anything different. And my daughter, that's what she said too. She has allergies. So, enough of this COVID talk. I'm going to go look for some more Aldi YouTube videos. You would think a trip to the barn is more than safe. If there's nobody there, yeah. Because I can wear gloves. I mean, you're touching things that other people have touched because there's two helpers and the two people that own the barn and Judy. So there's 5 people there every single day touching stuff. But Judy said one day she cleaned all the stall fronts, and there's 10 of them, scrubbed them with Lysol. But, that only lasts, how long. But I'd wear gloves. Maybe my horses would get used to me with a glove on. I have plain white ones too. Maybe it's the blue ones that they didn't like, because I think the vet always wears blue gloves. Darlene says, you don't always get really sick with the virus. Most people have mild symptoms. Some get moderate and some really sick, needing hospital. Yeah. No, it's not a high traffic area. And I can call and find out when there's nobody there. So that they want that anyway. They want you to call and tell them when you're coming so that they can clear the barn. So the horses aren't going to give it to me. I can wear gloves so I don't touch anything. Take the gloves off before I get in the car. And it should be safe. Yeah. I think going to the barn is helpful mentally, for sure. The cases in Ohio, nowhere like the hot spots. Yeah, God, New York is horrible. Horrible. Boy, I'm sure glad my daughter doesn't live there anymore. And I'm so glad my sister's son isn't living there anymore. Wow. To think that they've recruited tens of thousands, well, I don't know if it's that many, thousands and thousands of nurses they recruited to go to New York City. I'm sure they're going to get paid huge amounts, but still, I'm not that dedicated. I wouldn't have ever done that. But there are thousands of them going. I think it's better for you, your immune system, to see your horses, and good for the horses too. Yeah. It's my only bit of control of being normal. Yeah, I think they just couldn't smell your hand because of the gloves. True. And that is why they acted differently, maybe. But, I mean, I was close enough to them they could smell my body. I mean, they were outside, though, and there was an electric fence, and they don't want to put their heads over. I had to reach in. No, they see color. They can see color. So I don't know. I'll have to look into that more. Maybe it's only some colors. Some animals see some color, but not all colors. So I don't know. I'm not for sure about that. But the whiter gloves I have, they're almost see-through gloves. Of course, that would be the same with the smell. I'd let them smell my wrist. Oh, once I'm in their stall, I can, they'll know it's me. Of course, I don't want them to freak out when I'm in the stall with them, especially Echo. And New York officials encourage folks to go to the theater. What? Oh, at the beginning. Yeah, right. That was terrible. Nobody believed when it was way in the beginning. The scientists were trying to tell them, and nobody really believed until it's really started. Yeah, they really have a problem now. If they had pink hoofs, how would you react? Well, I'd think something was wrong, right? But I'd immediately go over and clean their hooves and see what was going on. But I'd think something was wrong. Yeah. Skip the gloves. Enjoy your horses. And use hand sanitizer. Yeah. Yeah. Sarah, the owner of the barn, said that she has hand wipes all over the barn. For anybody that comes, use them. So there are wipes that they are supplying there. So yeah, I can wipe everything off. That's true. Forgot about that. So I don't know. Maybe on a brave day, I'll go out there and I make sure nobody's in the barn. So I'm going to close for now and try to go out and look for those oldie videos. Like I said, I don't want to make this an hour and a half long again. So I will close for now, and I will be on in the next couple days, maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow I may try to do that recorded video. I don't know. Depends. So I'm going to end the broadcast and see you all in the next couple days. Thanks for visiting. Bye.